What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone between Hooker here, and today I'm going to show you how to remove your triple and also how to replace your handlebar on your Ducati 999 and 749. Let's go. So for this project, the items that you're going to need are one towel, another towel, of course the handlebar that you're replacing, a set of Allen wrenches, one screwdriver, and optionally some grease and some goof off. So before we start anything, the reason we need that towel is so we can cover our gas tank, because we don't want to scratch up our gas tank in any way or do any damage to it. Alright guys, so this is where we're going to need the Allen wrench. We're going to take off the front clutch lever. Depending on which side you're doing, they're both the same. Just use your Allen to take off the nuts. Alright guys, once we've removed the clutch lever and or the brake lever, just take your holding coupling and put it back onto the clutch lever. That way everything stays together and you don't lose anything. Alright guys, so the next step is where we use our screwdriver to take off the headlight and the horn assembly. It has two screws, one on the top and one on the bottom. And just like the clutch lever or brake lever, we're going to take this off and put the bolts right back in there. We don't need to put them super tight, but we just want them in there so we don't lose anything. Alright guys, so the next step is where this other Allen wrench comes in, is for us to take our front handle and move it towards us. That way we can access the two pressure nuts and remove them. Remember that the small one goes in the handlebar and the big one goes in the triple. Alright guys, while we have the handlebar cocked to the one side, we're going to begin to remove this pressure nut right here that's connected on the triple. So now we've done that, we're going to take the handlebar and cock it to the other side. That way we can access the nuts on this side. Now if you're removing this side, do the same thing that I did on the other side. Alright guys, so after we have all those nuts removed, the next step is to remove the damper nut. Now when you remove the damper nut, you're going to have this little lock here, the parking lock. This is going to fall off, so put your hand underneath it so it doesn't fall off. Alright guys, so this is a side thing. You guys don't have to do this, but I like to do this just because when I put everything back together, I like to re-grease it and just make sure everything's clean. So I'm going to spray my nuts off with some degreaser, and I'm going to let them chill while I take care of the rest of this project. Alright guys, so now that we have all those nuts off, we should be able to remove the triple. Before you remove the triple, find out which one of the rings your triple is on. Make sure to take pictures of everything. That way you remember where everything goes. Alright guys, so now it's time to remove your triple. It's not going to be that easy, but I've already pre-lubricated everything and I've already done this project before. So you might have to pry on it a little bit to get it off. Next, remove your handlebar. Voila. Alright guys, so I have my new handlebar right here. The thing with my old handlebar is that you're going to notice you're going to have a retention pin right here. This is for when you put your clutch lever on or your brake lever. We're going to want to remove that. Alright, so in order to remove this pin, I'm just taking a pair of pressure pliers and I'm just wiggling it back and forth, and that's it. It's literally that simple. I'm going to clean this up and I'm going to put it on the other handlebar. Alright guys, so I just finished moving over the grip from my other handlebar onto this one, and now I'm going to put that retainer pin back in. Now this is completely optional, but I've already cleaned up the pin, and like I said, what I like to do is just add a little tiny bit of grease right there. That way, when I stick this pin back in, it's nice and lubricated, and that way it just prevents it from rusting in the future. because we have the grease in there. So that's literally all we have to do for that. Now, we could start putting everything back together, but this is completely optional. What I like to do is I like to take some goof off and clean everything. Just clean everything as much as possible from any crud, corrosion, or whatever could be the case. Alright guys, so you just saw me clean up everything. Now the next step is completely optional, is to grease up your triple. Now I'm going to add a very minute amount of grease on both the fork holes and also the center hole. The reason I'm doing this is to let it slide in very smoothly. I'm also going to do that with the new handlebar. Alright guys, so let's put everything back together. Now when you stick this in, your handle might be like this, it might be like this, and you might wonder, oh crap, it might not go exactly the right way. Well, the cool thing about the triple is that it has this little notch on the bottom, so once they're right next to each other, it locks the handle into going into the right position. So don't worry about it. Now we're going to stick on the triple, but don't put it down all the way, because we need to stick on the parking lock before we put the triple down all the way, making it easier for us. Now, like I said, don't put it down all the way. Now we're going to take our damper, put everything back together. And we want to put in the parking lock in first. It goes like this. So we can just tighten that up by hand, and then we'll tighten it up the rest of the way once we have everything in there. So now the parking lot, it's with the nut, and now we can push down the triple. And now pull up the handle. All right, now once the handle is up, let's start putting all our bolts back in, and it'll be quite simple. I've already taken the liberty of lubing up my nuts. So like in the beginning of the video, we're gonna turn the handle towards us. I'm gonna take my nut that goes on the handle and tighten that up. Now I'm going to take the Allen holding pin and put it inside the triple. Alright, I'm going to take the holding Allen for the other side and tighten that up. Now I'm going to tighten up the dampener. I'm going to turn the handlebar towards me and add in that nut. Now we take a clutch lever or brake lever, depending on which one you're working on, and we're going to put those back on. And remember, we have that retaining pin, so line that up. Voila, and that's how you replace your handlebar on your Ducati 999 or 749. If this video helped you out, leave a like down below. If you have any questions, leave them down below. And remember, subscribe to my channel. This Hooker, signing out. Later, guys.